I realized that there's more than 4 seasons. In fact, almost every week was a season or a new look at how a season unfolds.
A state park for all the seasons and all the senses. Disc golf, boating, fishing, mountain biking, and hiking. Welcome to Pocono Mountains Podcast, everyone. I'm your host, Jim Hamill. This is episode 6 of season 5. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while. I grew up the road from Prompton State Park. It's the kind of spot that holds different meaning for different people, kind of like the other state parks we've explored so far. Prompton isn't like Hickory Run or Tobyhanna State Parks. It is intermixed with U.S. Army Corps and a massive flood control dam. The reservoir is a scenic lake fed by the west branch of the Lackawaxen River, and hiking trails surround it, weaving up to waterfalls and to places that inspire nature authors, including one we'll meet in a bit. Recently, I got to play some disc golf with a friend, Dan Corrigan of Northeast Wilderness Experience, then sit with author John Harvey, and even hiked with the park manager Lee Dillon. We'll enjoy those conversations in full ahead of our May Pocono Mountains magazine, where we'll have the third part of our series of 8 state parks in the Poconos. More on that in just a bit. The Poconos is a year-round destination for millions, with 2,400 square miles of mountains, forests, lakes, and rivers, with historic downtowns and iconic family resorts. It's the perfect getaway. You can always find out more at PoconoMountains.com or watch PTN, the Pocono Television Network, streaming live 24/7. Now, back to the episode. Like I mentioned, this was kind of a trifecta, a self-indulgent story for me, hiking to waterfalls I've enjoyed with my family, playing some disc golf with a longtime friend, and getting philosophical, if not spiritual, with a local author I've known since childhood. But enough about me. This is about Prompton State Park. Enjoy. Welcome, everyone, to Pocono Mountains Podcast. I'm your host, Jim Hamill, and I'm walking here along some of the north end trails at Prompton State Park here in Wayne County in the Pocono Mountains. I'm joined by park manager Lee Dillon. He's the manager of a system of parks here, including Prompton State Park, which is kind of my backyard, Lee. I grew up just up over the hill here.
We were talking about that. That's kind of cool.
Very familiar to me here, very familiar to a lot of folks in this area who visit here, who have second homes up this way. But it has such a unique system of trails here. We're going to embark on this little journey uphill to some waterfalls. What is it about Prompton State Park that lets people recreate here and get outside, mountain biking, hiking, fishing, all the like?
Prompton's just a beautiful, kind of unknown spot in the Poconos. The visitation isn't huge, which is not a bad thing. It's got an incredible system of over almost 20 miles of trails along the upper side. Great for mountain biking. They can be a little bit strenuous in some cases, but if you're looking for a good adventurous hike, this is the spot.
Yeah, this hiking gets people outside, and you can hear a little trickle right now, the west branch of the Lackawaxen River, which then feeds through Honesdale all the way to Hawley. Of course, we've been developing some river launches there for public access, but then too, it leads all the way to Lackawaxen, PA, to the Zane Grey Museum, where it empties into the Delaware. So really, these waters here that flow through the reservoir, through the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers flood control dam, end up in the Delaware that people recreate on and enjoy all year long too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a beautiful part of all these systems. I mean, they're all interconnected, and they all feed off of each other and build these natural environments.
That's amazing. This is one of those park systems too here at Prompton that has some amenities, but really it's kind of, I would call it like stripped down from there's parking areas, there are picnic areas. Certainly these trails have some park benches and some bridges as well that help you kind of navigate some of the waterways that tributaries to the river. But it is not like one of those other parks that you would kind of suggest. It's not like a big Hickory Run or even a Tobyhanna State Park.
So you're right. It is a fairly undeveloped park. We have some parking areas. It's serviced by very basic facilities, non-flushables, so that people can do what they got to do while they're here and enjoying the park. But it's not You're right. It's not a hickory run.
Right.
We don't do a whole lot of programming out here. We don't do hikes and education programs and things like that. Although occasionally,
Yeah.
occasionally, if you watch the website, we do get out here. But it really is just a very quiet, beautiful place to come out and spend some time.
It is quiet and beautiful, and we're going to eventually loop into this segment that we're producing for the May Pocono Mountains magazine. An author, a local gentleman who I know, who sat through an entire year here, about an hour per week, just sitting with nature. And so it is a contemplative type of place where people can recreate, yes, but they can also just enjoy nature surrounding them. And then the recreation too. This is one of the things that a buddy of mine came down from Rochester, New York, and when he visited, he really heard about the disc golf course. That's a biggie.
It is. It is. There is currently a group that takes care of it for us. And actually, we're very excited that the Friends of Prompton State Park is reestablishing itself.
Nice.
It had gone dormant, which happens from time to time,
Yeah,
for a while, but there is renewed interest, and that's exciting to see happen to get people back involved.
Yeah, I mean, this is the community. You know, the Prompton is a borough just below the dam here. There's a lot of volunteer fire services here. They'll have a car show here benefiting that volunteer fire company every
Absolutely.
once in a while as well. So it's kind of part of the community here in Wayne County, in between Waymart and Honesdale along Route 6. So it's really a great stopover if you're in the area. You could do this park in one day.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You can come out, do a quick, even what we're going to do today,
Yeah.
which we won't spoil that until we
Sure,
get there.
Sure.
In half an hour or an hour, and really just enjoy some beautiful time in nature.
Yeah, I know my family's come out here on like a Christmas day where it's been extremely warm of late sometimes, and we were able to just get a nice outdoor hike in here and enjoy what Mother Nature provides here in all 4 seasons. There's also too, I think, Lee, as this episode will air in May, that's National Safe Boating Month, and you guys do have some boat launches here from downriver in the reservoir area, where the message is always the same though too, that people really should abide by best water safety practices, having life jackets that fit, that are also, affixed to them properly, right? Because that's a really important part of recreating here, not just in the Poconos, but on any body of water.
Absolutely. Anytime you're on the water, the thing that we're going to just continue to say is be safe out there.
Yeah.
This one is a little different than some of our lakes, as it is Army Corps.
Right.
Which means, before coming out, you need to make sure you're checking the Army Corps regulations, because they are a little bit different
True.
than Fish and Boat Commission.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, stay safe. We want everybody to come out, have a safe and enjoyable visit at the park.
All right, Lee, now we're reaching our destination here at the waterfalls along the Sidewinder Trail. You can hear the rush of water here in the spring months. This is really the time of year where you want to get up here, because other times of the year, it's maybe not as full of a flow here at the falls.
Oh, absolutely. In the spring months, as everything is coming back to life, the water's flowing good. We get into June and July as things start to dry out a little bit. I don't know that they ever completely stop, but they definitely slow down. So, it's a beautiful, short 10-15 minute hike from the parking lot. A beautiful spot, and the running water, you just can't beat it. We were talking earlier that, that's one of my things.
Yeah.
That flow, it allows you to just be quiet and drop into it and clear your mind and kind of refocus. It's a fantastic experience.
So get on up here in the early months of the year, the spring months, as the falls are just exquisite and calming, and just a great part of what Prompton has to offer. We're gonna head from here to maybe over to the disc golf area. So thank you again for leading us on this tour here of some of the trails at Prompton State Park.
Absolutely, it's been an incredible pleasure.
Thanks, Lee.
Absolutely.
It's your host, Jim Hamill, and I am joined now with Dan Corrigan. Dan is with Northeast Wilderness Experience and Sawmill Cycles in Honesdale.
Right.
But you also have a big history here at Prompton State Park and the Prompton Lake Disc Golf Course.
That's right.
You've been here many moons, mountain biking, outfitting here on the lake as well, but then especially throwing some discs.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
What is it? I mean, people come from very far to play this disc golf course. Why?
It's a big arm course. It's well laid out, concrete tee pads, multiple hole options, beautiful scenery, lots of options too. They have pavilions for picnicking, picnic tables all around, so you can make a day at Prompton State Park for disc golf, and for hiking you can include a lot of different things in here.
And so it's challenging, just like the mountain biking's challenging, just like, you know, a lot of the terrain with the dam here as well. It's like a really stark contrast here in a lot of different seasons. Fall foliage hits and is beautiful. But now we've got hole number 2, Davy Jones's Locker.
That's right.
And you've played here before. Is it enjoyable?
I've lost a lot of discs on this hole in the
I'm
past.
sure.
Absolutely, yeah. This is one that eats them up pretty good. Over the years, they've changed it a bit. It was always a hook down around to the left, which is right by the water's edge, which we'll see in a little bit. But they've added in the intermediate basket as well for a little bit more of an approachable shot. But still, nonetheless, if you get a good loft on this one, you can easily lose a disc in the water. And the woods also like to eat a lot of discs too.
I don't doubt it.
It's amazing for the brightness of these things and the size. You wouldn't think it'd be easy to lose them, but you can lose them pretty quick too.
All right, so this is a lot like golf. Tee boxes, you're ready to go.
Correct.
You hit the concrete pad, and you kind of give yourself a little running start and get that thing pretty far because this is your drive.
Right.
And then you get down closer, you use a putter, so you use different discs for each hole.
Yep, so depending on your arm and the length of the hole, you can, you know, some people would opt for a mid-drive disc on the certain holes. You have a driver, we have putters like James mentioned before, and there's also discs that are going to turn right, that are going to turn left, so depending, some that have more loft.
Sure.
So there's really kind of a scientific component to this as well. But at the end of the day, you really could get into this with just one disc. Come out, try it out. It's not really expensive to get into, super family friendly. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, especially if you get on the professional level and you really want to play, you know, at a higher level. But if you just want to come out and have fun and throw the disc around and get some exercise, it's a great opportunity.
That's what we're here for today, my friend.
Not professional level.
Not professional level, but we're going to have a little fun doing it. So
yeah.
You're up first.
Right, so I was going to mention too, you mentioned got to get them running to start. There's multiple ways people throw discs.
Okay. So
So you have traditional throws, you have some people that are going to throw backhand as well. So lots of different ways you can do it. You can experiment with it, but it's a really a lot of fun. So,
All right.
ready?
Right. Yeah, do you need to warm up? You good?
I'm always warmed up.
All right, good stuff.
I'll give you that one.
Thanks,
All right.
man. I appreciate it.
So we're going to shoot down. I'm going to try to hit the midway here. I'm going to see what happens with this.
All right. Ooh.
And it's right on the wood line.
Right on the wood line.
Just where it always goes.
But that was cooking. That was cooking real good there, guys. I don't know. That puts a lot of pressure on right now. All right, here we go.
See what you got. Good loft. You're just
Yeah,
going to pitch left too.
You like? That's cooking left.
Good thing we're both righties. We're going to have the same kind of play today.
All right, we're off the tee box, folks. We're off the tee box, and we're not wet yet.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you down on the hill.
Great.
All right, first hole's down. No lost discs on this first hole, but
First hole. We did good this time.
we have a
Yeah.
few more holes to go.
Played a little cautiously too, which is good.
Yeah, and this is a great like exercise sport too, right? You're out on the physical terrain here, enjoying. We just saw a heron flying over the lake here, and some cloud cover today, so it's not too hot. A little breeze, but the breeze might catch one of these.
Well, that, you know, we said we like a good challenge.
Yeah.
You know, in disc golf also for beginners or for people that want to expand and, you know, have a better opportunity. But this course, it's like a wind tunnel here. You know, when it's up a little bit, it rips through here and does create another element of challenge. So
Well, let's go show them another hole here too, because it's not just along the lake, it's also up and through and around trees, which makes this an even more diverse and dynamic course.
lots
to
of
play.
uphill drives too.
All right, Danny, let's go.
Great.
Dan, all of these holes on the disc golf course seem to have two different baskets. So one's kind of like an intermediate, one is extremely tough, like this wooded shot here.
Yep.
I gotta go through these trees over
Basket.
here.
It's a tough shot. Absolutely. A lot of hazards behind it as well, kind of all around.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Well, I'm looking forward to this. We'll see how it goes. But while I'm shooting, just tell folks how people, if they wanted to get up on a mountain bike here, or rent a kayak, or do things like that, or even get these types of discs, where can they go in Honesdale, right close to Prompton State Park?
Sure. So we were super fortunate to have this park right in our backyard. So in downtown Honesdale, we have retail shop Sawmill Cycles,
Right.
partnered with Northeast Wilderness Experience. But at the shop, we've got maps for the disc golf course. We have trail maps at the shop, so we're a resource for mapping, advice on what to do at the park. But we also rent the gear too. So we have mountain bikes we can rent. We have kayaks that we can rent. We sell hiking gear, hiking poles, walking sticks, hiking boots, all that type of stuff. So we can help outfit your experience here as well. We have a delivery service where we'll drop things off for you, pick them back up. So that's it's a great opportunity, great resource in our backyard, and we can help outfit you for your day.
And I'm going to take this shot now. Let's see if I can weave my way through. But if this gets lost, I'll know where to find another one at your shop.
You know.
All right, here we go. Oh. All right. A little curvy in there.
Not a great lie, but you know, you can work through it.
Yeah, you can.
I don't think there's any option but to be in the rough in this one.
Oh! It was the putter. It was all the putter.
It was the putter.
And then I'd like to get, like when we're getting up close to this, one last piece with Dan about his love of Prompton as a state park resource.
Taking a bad roll. Okay, we'll take it.
It happens.
We'll
It
take
happens. But do talk to me, Dan, if you would, a little bit about your love of Prompton State Park. You grew up in this area, have utilized this as a public resource.
Yep.
It is low cost to no cost for a lot of people, and it must be just a great thing, as you mentioned, to have in the backyard.
Sure. Yeah, I'm born and raised in Honesdale, so I've been in the area for a while. Prompton State Park, I was here in the infancy of the trail making process. Bill Rollison, Kevin Pender, some mountain bikers in the area really kind of got this thing going along with Danny Richter. And I remember the first trail that went along the East Shore side here. They called it the Red Trail or the East Shore Trail, was the original trail that went through Prompton State Park. And from them, we've grown to over 23 miles of trails in the park system. So really amazing story behind it, but just a great resource. So thankful to have it here, and it continues to grow. We have some more boat accesses in, and this is, you know, part of the Lackawaxen River as well. So this ties right into the Lackawaxen River trails in Honesdale. Where we're really just trying to make this whole area very approachable, very recreation friendly, and have a lot of opportunities.
Great stuff. Dan Corrigan with NIWI, Northeast Wilderness Experience at Sawmill Cycles in Honesdale, and the Lackawaxen River Trails Group. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you very much.
PTN. Now we got to finish out this hole. Hey, John. Thank you for joining me today.
Well, I'm really glad to be here. I'm glad to share this experience with you.
Yeah, let's go sit for a while.
Okay.
All right.
Great idea.
You've done this before.
Yes. So, and just parenthetically, I mean, I call this approach to the sit spot the zero interval.
Zero interval, okay.
And it's a kind of a time, first of all, to form an intention. So in your mind, you kind of say, okay, I'm going to sit now.
Yeah.
In nature. Intention can be really important and really powerful. It kind of tunes your mind and heart, let's say, into the experience. And then sometimes you just start to notice as you walk towards there, the sky, configuration of the clouds, color of the water, feel of the earth as we're walking along, some of the little sounds of the grass.
And even the smells too, you mentioned too,
Yes.
because we are here in April, which is, the smells are starting to come back after a long winter.
Beautiful, yeah. There goes a raven.
Yeah.
One of my favorite calls, a really smart, wild, communicative bird. And then, you know, once you start to tune in, lots of times people don't care so much for the wind, but the wind is really interesting, and you see those beautiful gray birch trees waving a little bit in the breeze. And this is a really automatically lovely spot down here to sit because you have what's called edge habitat.
Okay.
So water, field, brush, forest, you can see a lot, and this edge habitat really attracts a lot of nature.
Okay, so it's kind of like the front doorstep to a lot of what this state park has to offer.
Oh, yes.
Everybody.
Yes, yes, yes.
Not just us, but nature.
Right.
So you were just mentioning then this edge habitat, you know?
Well, yeah, the edge habitat, and you can see as we approach it, it really draws you in. There's nice diversity, and some of the things that are so important, humans have kind of an automatic attraction to an open vista. And here along the shores of Prompton Lake, I don't think you can find a more beautiful vista across the lake, the nice rounded shapes. You see the green. You can start to see some of the beginning signs of spring, budding.
is happening, yeah.
And then you have this beautiful view up the lake. And above us, the red maples are starting to do their red thing with flowers.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on. So I'm excited to pull up a chair and sit down and see what we can tune into.
And you've done this, you know, on and off throughout a lot of your adult life, right? This is not something that you just started doing as a hobby yesterday.
Well, no, I have to be very honest. I always loved nature and loved gardening, hiking, kayaking. But it was really in 2013 that I first did this discipline or structured sit spot. And it was really a revelation because it changed my understanding and relationship with nature. So what I'm going to do, Jim, I'm going to pull out a notebook, and it's just a simple notebook. I'm going to open it up to a page and pull out a pencil. Pretty important to use a pencil because if it's cold, ballpoint pens can lock up on you.
Sure.
And I'm just going to do a few data points here. So we have 4:15:25. I'm going to draw a big circle. That's me in the middle of the circle. And I'm going to start just by doing a survey with my senses of what I'm seeing and hearing. And I think, to begin with, one of the things I found when you sit in nature is that actually hearing sometimes can be more powerful than seeing.
Sure.
So you can tell me what you notice as you're listening, but I'm hearing two of the golden trifecta of nature sounds, which is wind, water, and birdsong.
Right.
So with the wind, it's blowing by our ears. It's kind of a little soft roar from over there. And then we've got this nice little splashing sound of the waves hitting the rocks here on the shore. And the wind sometimes then will cross over from the auditory channel to the visual channel, and you'll see when we get a nice gust, you just get some beautiful little whitecaps.
You do.
There. Yeah.
It's a blustery day here today, but it's also sunny in some respects too, so it kind of changes by the moment.
Yes, yes, yes. And each of these circles goes for like 10 minutes. And that's a way to almost hit the refresh button on your internal computer to kind of reorient you. And you're right, it changes. Every 10 minutes is like a different story in nature. Now I'm kind of tuned into it, but back here on my circle, I just heard a song sparrow.
Sure.
Giving its little maids, please put on the kettle, kettle, kettle call. And that's the third part of the, golden trifecta of nature sounds. So how about you? What are you hearing?
I just hear this cool water. It's like because of the wind and the water mixing together, it feels like a spring day, and senses that way too. Like the water sounds cool in that way.
Yeah.
It is wave after wave here along the shoreline.
Right.
And that's very calming. I feel like that's something that a lot of people have gone to now from a digital standpoint is filtering those things into their sleep cycles. But here you actually have it at your fingertips to come out while you're awake and enjoy it as well.
I know. And some scientific research suggests that we just have a natural acuity and sensitivity for these kinds of sounds. And so, listening to them, even like we're doing, just for a few minutes, it settles you down.
Mm-hmm.
And it stays with you. It changes things.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
So, yeah, it's really nice. And one of the things that I noticed, there's a flicker over in the distance.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, when you sit down, you'll start to hear more.
Well, there does seem to be a boater in the distance then. I'm seeing them
Yeah.
come in
Yeah.
this direction.
Oh yeah. Good eye. Good spotting.
Nice. Thank you.
You're a natural for this.
You know, if I found time in my waking life with
Yeah.
young kids and
Yeah.
full-time gig and all the
Right.
public service, I would probably do this more often like you.
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky if I get out once a week or, once a month, but when you do these sit spots for an hour, you really get some changes. But one of the things I've noticed about the wind, usually the wind was something I just observed when I went from the house to the car or walked down the street. But when you sit out here, you really capture how the wind comes in gusts. And the gusts usually only last no more than 20 seconds.
Right.
And so there's a kind of waves, and you can hear them coming to you. We can see the waves coming down the lake.
You can.
And it'll rough up and then it'll fade. And, oh, you hear that?
I
Beautiful.
do.
Yeah.
I do.
That's music.
That's all three together, right in the same
Exactly.
opportune spot right here in a very accessible state-funded and federally funded park.
Right.
That's something, yes. We can all hear these things naturally, maybe if we're going between our home, through a backyard, to a vehicle, but to actually come out here, that's what you did. You came out here time and time and time and time again to really be with nature and the sounds and the sights and the smells, right?
Well, I learned, or maybe better to say I relearned, that it felt like I was uncovering kind of a natural sensitivity, and it really changed me. Because once you sit long enough and you tune into these sounds, it changes your baseline. You kind of notice them then wherever you go and wherever you are. And yeah, sitting for an hour is great, but you can tell 10 minutes here is valuable.
It is.
Yeah.
Just even those creaks of the trees too, as they move, it's like, boy, they've spent years developing their root systems and the various seasons that they've endured, and just that bluster of wind, that gust of wind, will cause that like ache sound. Certainly, it's not a painful thing, hopefully for them, but it is part of like their structural being.
Yeah, and I think sometimes when you tune into nature sounds, you get these kinds of insights about, the trees have to deal with the wind, but they know how to do it. Mm-hmm. And the wind and trees are kind of old, I wouldn't say adversaries, but I guess they work together with each other. And it kind of, sometimes those insights then can transfer over to your personal life. When the winds of adversity come, I have some of these same roots and structures to either bend or go with the flow or withstand them. And so you come away a better person, healed, integrated, almost like psychotherapy, but for free.
But for free.
Yeah.
And that is something you said, it's an intrinsic value that we do have here
Yeah.
in our natural surroundings. Forests and rivers and lakes and streams and parks like this. It all provides for that essence of really what it was intended to be.
Yeah, we all need, one of the theories about how nature positively affects people is biophilia, or love for nature. Mm-hmm. And it's where we grew up and where we feel happy and content, and those feelings come back. Up there we have, it looks to me like a swallow. Probably a tree swallow, and see how that bird was working with the wind?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
With and against.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing. See, when you sit, then nature kind of comes to you in a nice way. Now we're getting a nice little chop out there.
Oh, yeah.
With a gust of wind coming down the lake. Now, this is a beautiful spot. The hills, nice, rich, blended forest, and there's so much wildlife here.
Yeah.
Wow, what a spot.
So John, you decided at some point, like you said, this was a process that you began to do here at Prompton State Park along the trail out there from where we can see right now.
Yes.
And you would spend time, hour or so at a time,
Yes.
immersing yourself in the natural sounds and sights and smells, sensory scenes that you painted then into a book and then a second book. So tell me about your process and what that all meant for not just you, but for what you wanted to share with other people.
Okay, yeah. Well, the first project was a commitment that I made just because I loved nature. I wanted to try something. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go out once a week, sit for an hour in the woods at what I called my home sit spot on that peninsula up there, and sit for an hour and take in the observations. And it became a much more profound experience than I ever imagined.
Wow.
And I felt changed. I felt healthier on all levels, emotionally, physically, mentally and spiritually. But I thought it was just kind of a one-off experience that I was just lucky, and it was just good to spend time in nature. And then I realized when I looked into some of the research that what I had stumbled into was lining up exactly what people all over the world are discovering. And that's when I thought, I need to put this into the second book and explain just how beneficial this is and the different ways to approach it, and then to share some of my further experiences in nature.
So your first book, the title again?
The Stillness of the Living Forest,
And
a
that-
year of listening and learning.
And that was really set in this wonderful state park here, accessible in our shared home of Wayne County. Beautiful surroundings. You were there for all 4 seasons.
Yes, that was one of the highlights.
I'm sure.
Because I realized that there's more than 4 seasons. In fact, almost every week was a season or a new look at how a season unfolds.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a great experience.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, as the wind, kicks up inevitably, would you be able to share one of your maybe favorite passages from the book?
Okay. So this is from chapter 5, entitled Sensory Awareness, Gateways to Nature Mindfulness. And the first subsection is on hearing. The shift occurred early on a beautiful spring morning in May. Above me, a full canopy of new minty green leaves blanketed the branches and treetops. Around me, the woodland shrubs, honeysuckle, red osier dogwood, and wild blueberry were laden with new green growth. The ferns, grasses, jewelweed, and garlic mustard stood tall upon the forest floor. The sunrise birdsong chorus was in full swing. Warblers, catbirds, robins, and crows.
So there's a through line, first I'll say.
Yeah.
We have 8 state parks in the Poconos, 4 counties.
Yeah.
We've done Hickory Run to start,
Yeah.
Toby Hanna the last one, and now this one, Gouldsboro, and then we've got 4 more.
Yeah.
But there's been a through line in each of them, and the first 2 were happenstance, and this one is obviously like
Yeah.
you were ripe for the picking.
Yeah.
because
yeah,
of
yeah.
your time you spent here and your affinity for it. But the first woman who we interviewed at Hickory Run,
Yeah.
just randomly came upon her at the Shades of Death Trail, and she was so like bubbly and excited about being there, and said that she comes back time again, and she used the word to say, "This is my happy place."
Oh, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
a gentleman who came up from Astoria, that's one of the more ethnically diverse places in the entire world.
Right.
High density population and
Yeah.
right close to a major metro, and not as clean air, clean water as Toby Hanna would have. And he's there walking his dogs, and he says, for me, this is like going to church. And he says that.
Yeah.
And then we have here, it's like just, we're building this like case to be made for like what we share in these experiences and these locations. So pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice that you got that. And there is, I mean, I've looked at all the research on spending time in nature, and it helps physical health and mental health, emotional health. But everybody talks about that kind of connection, feeling part of something greater,
right?
Like a spiritual dimension, like being in a cathedral,
right?
In a way.
Yeah.
Now we're getting a nice breeze.
I hear my hat blowing off is what I hear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
I
nice
sense
gust.
that.
Yeah.
But at least it's carrying our kayaker down.
Yeah.
They fought against this going out.
Oh, they did.
I'm sure they're enjoying their journey back.
Yeah, that's zooming right along.
It is.
Now I'm getting the really nice fresh air coming down with that northwest wind.
Absolutely.
And a few minutes ago, I felt that nice warm sunshine on the back of my neck.
Oh.
Great comfortable sensation. Yeah.
It's the yin and the yang, isn't it?
Yeah.
The warmth and the cool and this is really spectacular. I wonder if we can also pause for a moment. We'll catch some of the natural sounds. I'll just make sure my mic is providing for that a little bit more openly here, and we'll just pause for a moment here. Think they're having a conversation like ours?
Yeah, the birds?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a male kind of proclaiming that he's a cool dude.
Oh.
And he's got some nice territory there. So he's hoping that some lady will hear his message.
I see. The mating call of the wild.
Yeah.
Remember to watch the upcoming Pocono Mountains magazine in May for the complete segment featuring Prompton State Park. And then we'll head to Gouldsboro State Park at the southern end of Wayne County for June. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast, everyone. Come explore the Pocono Mountains and plan your trip today.